Hey y'all, I'm Christi, and on today's episode of Barrister Eats, we're making fudge pie. It's one of my favorites for a couple of reasons, but number one, chocolate. It's just so good. But number two, it is probably one of the easiest recipes you'll ever see on this. It's basically one dish, and then you put it into a pie crust that's already been prepared, and you put it in the oven, and you wait, and your house smells amazing. You're gonna thank me for this recipe. So to get started, let's get some ingredients together. For our fudge pie, we'll need 2/3 cup evaporated milk, somewhere between 3/4 and a cup of chocolate chips, depending on how much you want, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons vanilla extract, 3/4 teaspoon kosher salt, 1 cup chopped pecans, 1 9-inch frozen unbaked pie crust shell. I use the deep dish, and if you like, you can put some ice cream on top after you're done. Alright, I've already mentioned that this is a super easy recipe. Part of what makes it so easy is A, you have one bowl, and B, you're using the microwave as you essentially are putting all the ingredients together. So it's super simple. Other than waiting for it to bake in the oven, it's only a couple of steps. So we start with the first 3 ingredients. I'm going to put the evaporated milk in, the chocolate chips, and the butter. And then we're going to put that into the microwave, and basically I need to check on it every 30 seconds. I'll whisk it to make sure it's actually melting and we're not scorching the chocolate or anything like that. And while that's going, I've got the oven preheated, working up towards 375. Okay, 30 seconds, pull it out, whisk. Make sure to put all that chocolate back in there. Back again. Every 30 seconds, I'll do that until the chocolate is nice and creamy and ready to start adding all the other ingredients. And essentially, we'll put them all in and we'll whisk them together and put them in the pie shell. Super simple. Oh yeah, butter's melted, chocolate's melted, it's all nicely incorporated because of those periodic whisk, and that took me about 1 minute and 30 seconds, so no big deal at all. Again, one bowl and a whisk. So now we start adding some of the other ingredients. I'm going to go sugar first. This was a cup. That makes it super grainy. But since it's hot, it blends really nicely. And then we're going to do flour. And this is where it starts to feel kind of thicker. Make sure you get the bottom. So we've got everything incorporated, we've whisked everything together. The next step is to add the eggs one at a time. The trouble is sometimes it's still just a little too warm to put the eggs in if it's scramble them. So I've let it cool off just a little bit so that I can safely, hopefully, add the eggs. And I tend to crack them over a separate bowl so that if I do a poor job, then I can grab the shell. Thankfully that one went okay. And then the second one, after I whisk, whisk until it's incorporated. Again. No shell. Whisk. Once that's totally incorporated, I'm going to then add my last ingredients, which is vanilla, salt, and pecans. Okay, we are all together. See how simple that was? Now we pour it into the pie dish, and you're gonna see why I go with the deep dish right away. I don't wanna leave any of that chocolate behind. So this is why I love to use my spatula. Make sure I get everything in there that I can. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? All right, just a reminder, we've had the oven going at 375. Now when we put the pie in there, I've already put a cooking sheet underneath. You can put aluminum foil, or maybe you're just risky enough that that's not a big deal for you at all. But when we put it in, I'm gonna let it stay for about 35 to 40 minutes. I'll check back on it. What I'm looking for is that it's set. I actually do check the inside of the pie, meaning I put a toothpick, or sometimes I get really boisterous and I'll put a knife into it, because I do want that fudge to be truly set on the inside. But once that's done, you're good to go. You'll pull it out, let it cool maybe 10 minutes, and then you can eat it. There's still just a little too much jiggle, so I'm going to give it another 5 minutes and we'll come back and check it. Oh yeah, it's nice and cracked. Can't make them all beautiful, but this sucker is ready. We've been a little long, but that's just one of those things. You got to watch it, make sure that it's not jiggly, and that you have a nice clean bake all the way through. You're gonna love it. You gotta try it. It's good stuff.